Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. So today we're going to be playing a little bit of Control Bravo, which is a little out of my realm of depth. Normally, Guardian's not really my thing, but I do enjoy it. So Control Bravo is interesting because it plays all of the heavy hitters like Spinal Crush, Crippling Crush, Pulverize, things like that, but it's more focused on playing the mid-rangey game and controlling the pace of the game and taking your big turns when they come in, as opposed to just being like Bravo, Hammer, like every turn. So it's a really interesting deck. This is Ed Knight's list. And I really enjoyed the games, honestly. It was a lot of fun, and it's something I could see myself playing if I didn't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to finish building Bravo and getting all the cards that were missing from it. But it was really fun, and I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the video. I have queued that up, and I'm ready for some games. The House of Cards image is going to be in the way a little bit until I get into the game. But I'm hoping I can set it up to where it looks better once I'm actually in a game. So let's see. We'll go ahead and make that invisible for a moment. Player 2, let's see, Ninja. Yeah, so if you select Ninja, it should automatically change everything the way it's supposed to be. Which is a pretty cool tool that Fabrari uses, and I am pretty excited about. The guy who was making this list was nice enough to actually go ahead and equip everything, so it sets me up with 60 cards. Take out Heart of Fandle, 2 Pulverizes, Remembrance, 3 Righteous Cleansing, and the 2 Staunch Response. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Seems pretty good. I'm pretty excited to try it out. We're still using Anothos here. Alright, and let's throw the sponsor back up there. Command & Conquer is a really good one to use, in my opinion, because it requires 2 cards out of my opponent's hand, like almost immediately every time we play it. So the concept of it's 2 or more cards, because they're playing Mask of the Pouncing Lynx here, which is interesting. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is interesting. I mean, I would also like to just throw a Spinal Crush at them. That would feel pretty good. Yeah, I like keeping the Spinal Crush better than I do the Command & Conquer, because it requires 6 block, and if we happen to draw some way to like actually play a Pummel too, then we're in a really good situation. I mean, Mask of the Pouncing Lynx does have Blade Break if they choose to go that route. It can block too. I'm just going to sink below the Soaring Strike here. Like, we were able to completely cover up everything they were trying to do here. I'm not going to put the Spinal Crush on the bottom. I'd rather just have the Spinal Crush. I am surprised that our opponent chose to go first. I know Bravo likes to set up, but 5 wants the tempo, has been my experience. And they're going to attack for 1 here. I'm going to take the 1. I'm in no danger of really getting blown out by anything here, so I'd rather just take the 1. I mean, if they snatch me, I'll throw Tectonic Plating and Spinal Crush at it. Wow. I actually think it's better just to block like this. I mean, if they want to snap this on turn 1 and Lava Burst me for 6, then so be it. Wow. This is not something I would see coming. Yeah, we're gonna start the game at 33. Like, but they're also down 2 pieces of equipment. So let's play Sigil of Solace. We'll go back to 36. We will hammer for 6 here. It might just take 6. I'm not really sure what they'll do here. Would have liked to have had something a little bit more effective. I mean, I guess like we could have showtimed. Then we'll arsenal this. So, yep, that's fine. So I don't really feel inclined to block here. I'm honestly just going to take 3, go to 33 here. Yep, for 2, we'll go to 28. Really like for them to do something a little bit better than this. Like, I'm really kind of hanging on to the fact that their last card is a... their last card is like a snatch or something. That's right. Let's go. Let's run the punt count up here. All right, so this is a good one. So it's for 5. So we're gonna go to reactions, and we're gonna sink below the. I guess the sigil to the bottom. Like, this is pretty good here because I get to arsenal a pummel and come in for 11 here. Now, my opponent might, like, I played a game the other day where my opponent was just taking all 11 and discarding cards. They have to have a defense reaction here, or we're going to get 2 cards. So, it still has you taking 4, boss. Yeah, even them using their equipment here isn't, like, it's not very effective because what they should do is throw Flamescale Furnace, a 3 block, and then another 3 block if they have it. That's 3, 6, 8. Okay, so they don't have it. So that's why they threw both of their equipment there. Makes sense when their hand... I mean, Ninja isn't exactly known for blocking. So... Yeah, so I mean... I can basically block with the pummel. Feels pretty mid. What do you mean Ninja has the best blocks? Oh, Billy. I love the optimism. The old Katsu boy here wants Ninja to be better than it is. I appreciate where you're at. I think we'd rather just play the debilitate. Yeah, so Let's see here. I'm going to... I think I'm just going to arsenal this next pummel here. So we're going to come in with this for 6. And then we have 2 floating so we can pummel. I'm going to bring Katsu back. Just wait. Dude, honestly, man, I don't hate playing against Katsu. I hope you do it. I 100% hope that you do it. I love the Dash Katsu matchup. I feel like it's a really fun and close game. Like, so even if our opponent just decides to block here, like if they block anything at all here to try and stop a crush effect, they might not. We still get to pummel it. So we are forcing their hand a little bit. And then we have another pummel we can use next turn. Good lord, I've got something stuck on my throat here. They discard Sink Below. That's interesting. Yeah, it's always fun to play. I'll be back to playing this week. Had company over and was sick a weekend. Yeah, I was like, I know you were sick weekend before last, and you said you had family in town, man. I mean, it's always good to get to see the family. Glad you're coming back, though. Miss seeing you, buddy. All right, so... So, basically... We're going to block something with a last-ditch effort this turn. And then we're going to play this. We're going to make a surge and then play that, which honestly I don't hate. Or is it better just to pummel a Macho Grande? I don't think so. I don't think that's better. I think getting the stamp authority in is really good because we're stopping on hit effects, and we gain an intellect for the turn. It says cards would cost 3 or greater. Yeah. Sanderscan Devotion is revealed. They get a blue Minnowism. All right. Well, I mean, we may not be able to play the Stamp Authority. I was like, you have to pay a complete blue to be able to get the Phoenix Flame. We'll go to 20 here. I mean, Macho Grande for 12 is nothing to... Like, it's 12 and we're taking a card. Like, it doesn't seem like anything to laugh at, in my opinion. Of course, Thunderquake is just... It's the same amount of damage, but... Let me still use every card in our hand. I mean, there's not really a good play here. Now, fortunately for us, our opponent's hand has been pretty mediocre this turn. And they have another blue. Yeah, man, I'm going to go to 15. Like, you're not... Like, I am so thankful they're playing Mask of the Pouncing Lynx right here because it has just been so not threatening at all. Huh. Restream bot showed the MTG bot punt message. Well, I don't know what's happening. You're definitely still working out the kinks with the whole Restream thing. So, I appreciate your patience. So we'll pitch this, activate Tectonic Plating, and we're going to come in for 12 here basically and strip a card. Now, we won't have an arsenal, but we are putting our opponent to 10. Our opponent goes to 10 if they don't have anything here, and then they're forced to discard a card. Another Sink Below. I mean, I guess Macho Grande, Stamp, Last Ditch Effort. So we can play play Sigil and then Thunderquake. I mean, I guess putting those cards back in my deck is just better. Also, a really good way to look at this is that I'm up. After this hits me, I'm going to be up 2 life points, except they have 1 equipment block left, and I have 3, 6, 8. So that's really cool. Seven. Yeah, I'm okay with going to 5 because I'm going to Sigil of Solace back up to 8. We'll play Sigil of Solace. They can't draw cards. They don't have a card in their arsenal, so your action phase. Let's see. I think it's Guardian attacks. And if it's not, we can always hammer and arsenal this, so it's not the end of the world. But I think we're just able to, yeah, come in for 8 here. Like, we're at, like, our opponent's at the point in the game, like, where if they're not, like, trying to put on a lot of pressure, like, we're really just, like, oh, getting the best of them here. Okay, so I can block with all my equipment and pummel and Fate Foreseen. And then I can make Seismic Surge Hammer for 6. Or I can keep the pummel. Alright, so I'm going to take 3 here. So if we keep the pummel, we can pitch Unmovable. They're going to banish their last card and draw 2 cards. So they do that, and then I'm going to play Fate Foreseen here, like, which is really good because we get to stay at 8. This feels really good, and then we still have 6 equipment block left this turn. Yeah, covering up their big attack here is just, there's so much value in this. We'll leave Macho Grande on top. They're at the point in the game where a dominated Macho Grande will just win the game. I mean, so this is for 4. Probably pretty aggressive of me to go ahead and block there. Might should have just been a take 4 turn. Activate Furnace. Go up to 2. So now they can Ember Blade me and they can Phoenix Flame me for 2. So I take the Blade, go to take 3, go to 5, and then take the Phoenix Flame, go to 3. Yeah, because they have 3 Draconic Chain Links. So I'm going to go to 3 here, and I'm going to have Hammer for 10. Because it just says cost 3 or greater. Which is really good to me. So we're going to pitch Terra Sunder to make another Seismic Surge. Control Bravo didn't really feel like Control Bravo this game. You want the truth? Also, Blue Unmovable is pretty lackluster in this matchup, so not really doing much. I've got that new Harry Styles song stuck in my head. I mean, I say new. It's been out for a minute now. So the fun part about this is that, like, if our opponent, like, blocks 9, we still pummel them. Like, we're taking their whole hand, and we just get to, like, arsenal. Like, this is a losing situation for our opponent here. Because if they throw 2 cards at this and block 7, like, if they throw Furnace and 2 cards, they're dead. Or maybe their decision is to throw Furnace and a card, block 4. Yeah, so they're going to do this, and then I'm going to pummel it. Now, they've discarded 2 Sink Belows, so I doubt they have another one. But if they do, they do. There's nothing I can do about it. All right. Well, our opponent played a good game. All right. So we threatened 57 damage. Our average value for hand was 11.86. So game one, we ended up playing against Fi, and the only thing I really have to say is Red Pummel. Red Pummel kept us in that game. It was hand disruption. It was extra damage. It allowed us to kind of play catch up a little bit in the early game, in the early to mid game, and in the late game, it really allowed us to play take offensive control and take tempo advantage. Pummel was awesome there. It was really good. Like obviously the sigils and the rest of the deck and blocking, were obviously very beneficial, but Red Pummel is what put us in the driver's seat and helped us play catch up and let us win that game there. Which virtually the same thing as everything else. Like as the last game. It's the same thing as the last game, so throw a little sponsor back up there. Doomsayer. Kind of like that name. Won't lie. I need to go in and do this with in-depth breakdown for all of my Dash deck that I like to play so much and for my Viscera deck that I like to play so much, so that I have those matchups. I think that would be pretty good. Going back to Innistrad with that name, yeah, honestly. I mean, I was like, there's so many people that are like old Magic players that play this game now. Play this. And then, you know what? No, I'm gonna force my opponent to have a bad hand if they have a bad hand. Like that's the correct thing to do, because honestly it's really nice because I have Terra Sunder Hammer next turn for 7, which is really cool because Terra Sunder Hammer can be blocked pretty effectively, but most of the time will slide through stuff. Okay, so my opponent doesn't want to start with Surging Strike. Or they don't want to start with Kodachi. My opponent's all over the place. Now the cool thing is that we're still only down 2 because we started the game with Sigil of Solace. Starting turn 1, turn 0, Sigil of Solace is insane. And if it hits draw card, so I'm just gonna sink below this. No reason for us to do anything here. I'm just gonna keep my hand because I like being able to Terra Sunder Hammer here. Then they're gonna leg tap 4 go again. Yeah, so I'll take this 4 here. So 7 dominate. I was like, without an arsenal here, this requires multiple equipment block. They'd have to throw Shuko and Mask. Alright, so they take 4, keep 1 card in hand, and then pass. Oh my gosh, do I get to do it all here? You winning? I am currently 1-0. So yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie, your list is pretty cool. I've never really considered playing Sigil of Solace in Bravo, but it's pretty fun. I mean, the deck feels really well put together so far. So let's see. We have 9 resources. We need 6. So I think Pummel on Spinal Crush here is better. So we don't have an arsenal after that, but I think that's fine. Man, if they put us in a spot where we're not going to... I don't really feel like this is the right spot to play... play Pummel here, because they're not having to discard anything, and we're just pushing through 2 damage. Yeah, so I mean, I'm okay with just them taking their entire turn off for this. Like, this feels fine. Sigil is so good. Credit to Kale, too. We went back and forth on tech. Oh, nice, man. That's awesome. Yeah, like, Sigil feels really cool. I really just enjoy Sigil as a card as a whole. But yeah, keep the Pummel. See, yeah, that's what I was thinking too in my head. In my head, I was like, "There's no reason to play the Pummel here," but I'm also not a Bravo main by any means. So, okay, they can't draw cards. So does that just turn off Mask? Well, that's pretty cool. So this costs 5. So we're able to do all of this and still pummel this for 12? Or I guess we could activate Bravo, but that feels less fun to me. Pummel Disable? Oh, Pummel Disable as opposed to Pummel the Cranial Crush? I guess in my head I want to turn off Mask. I'm going to take your word for it, though. I feel like you definitely know more about this deck than I do. So I guess instead of making another Seismic Surge, I could have kept the Cranial Crush here. And yeah, we could have like kept the Cranial Crush and Arsenal. It's like off-brand CNC. No, I mean, that's fair. That makes sense. The fact that we pummeled means they had to discard a card too. We'll put Cranial Crush. Put Unmovable on the bottom. Honestly, not a huge, like, very excited about seeing another. So we're probably just making a Surge, playing Command and Conquer, and then arsenaling Crippling Crush here. And we have we can block here. We block here, and they play like a Snatch or something. We're forced to throw 2 equipment at it. I guess that's fine. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, good line. Okay, cool. Oh, they're Katsuing here. Of course, I guess I was like, they get the Gust Wave they can use. So we're going to... I don't really feel like bottoming anything. I want to save the Crown for when we need it. So we'll block 4. So good move by my opponent. They get some equipment block out of the way pretty early here. Now, CNC is just 6 damage here, but I mean, I guess I could hammer here. Keep this in my deck. Pitch stack a little bit. Not that pitch stack's really going to matter, because, well, hammer's less actually, because that costs 2, so it's better just to CNC here. Yeah. Definitely still fine CNC. Yeah, so like you're definitely seeing some of the lag time of me not playing a lot of Bravo come through right now on how long it's taking me to make some decisions I'm making. I mean, this is just a 2 for 6, like, which isn't bad. I mean, I play Throttle all the time in Dash, so. My opponent still blocks 5. I wonder why. Okay, my opponent just realized they don't have an Arsenal and it doesn't matter. So we're going to Arsenal this, and then... Whew. So we can basically Fate for seeing something. We can Fate for seeing something, and then we can dominate a Crippling Crush. Feels not bad. Feels not bad at all. They did not activate that. Naked Crippling is fine based on their turn. Huh, okay. It's interesting. Well, So my natural response here, let's see, if we get crown, and if we crown, we don't really have much of a turn here. Time to block, yeah. So let's see, if we block 6, we get to just make a surge and pass. I guess I want to leave this in the deck in case it ever matters. Showtimes, yeah. See, I can definitely tell you just play more Bravo than I do because you're getting to all the lines in the chat here like 3 seconds before I think about it. No, you just hammer. All right. Well, not gonna lie, I naturally wouldn't hammer here, but I take your word for it. And I guess I could have pitched Fate Foreseen to keep a surge, but don't think it really matters. Just going to take 1 here, go to 26. We're up quite a bit. They really like this surging strike line. We'll take 5 here. Like, we still have all of our equipment blocked, so it's not like we're like, I'm really scared to not block or anything. That's right. Get Taryn in the chat. Much love for Taryn. She's had it rough this weekend. She's had to listen to me and Kyle yell at each other all weekend while we were playing Red Dragon Inn. This is a good hand. All right. I mean, yeah, like, I can make a surge and dominate Bravo here, or dominate Crippling Crush, like, which is really good. So our opponent undid their action. Wonder if they Katsu wrong? Oh, they don't want to Katsu. I mean, I guess they could Razor me, but if I block 2 and then they Razor, I can just Fate Foreseen. So I'm just going to block with Plating and Legs. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. So, well, I guess I can't make a Seismic Surge because I didn't have one last turn, but I can dominate Crippling Crush and then Arsenal Fate Foreseen, which is pretty bonkers. This is a get a lot of cards out of their hand here kind of thing. I mean, they might give us Mask here too. So like 2, 4, 7. Okay, I was like, do they have a sink below here? I was like, I assume off their Arsenal they do. So they take 2, go to 13. And we'll go Fate Foreseen. Won't lie, this all seems a little mid right now. Command and Conquer, huh? So this is also threatening Mask. I mean, part of me kind of wants to just throw Crown at it and throw that on the bottom. This hand does not feel very good. I mean, they don't have Go Again. They can't Snapdragons this. And so throwing Crown gives me a 6-card hand. Block. Okay. So Nighttime says definitely block here. Is that a thing? Does Katsu play lunging press? I did not know that was a thing, to be honest. So I mean, we're just gonna hammer for 4 and then Arsenal to sink below. The back-to-back Command and Conquer, or the couple of Command and Conquer turns have been really good right here. Yeah, they usually play 1. Now you can Arsenal, Fate, and Hammer. I mean, Sink, LOL. Yeah, no. I know what you mean. All right, this hand's not bad. The odds of us getting out of this without blocking are not high, but this hand is pretty solid nonetheless. I did not know that Ninja played that as a one-of. Let's see, if 100 wins was the last, was not, so it's just 3 go again. I mean, we have 3 block from our equipment this turn and a sink below if we need it. Okay, was that Rising Knee Thrust? No, it was 100 wins. So, like, I have a pretty basic understanding of what Katsu's trying to accomplish at all times. I kind of want to block this just to take Mask off, but I don't think it's worth it because we have Sink below. So this is definitely going to get Snapdragons. So I don't hate the idea of blocking 3 here. Debating if I want to put a Rouse on the bottom, but I think dominating a Crippling Crush is just good enough, honestly. And then this thing... So this thing attacks for 5. I'm tempted to throw... Does this thing have go again? And if it hits, put it into your hand. So we take 4, go to 9 here. Or take 5. Or I can block Rouse, block Sink below. Use Sink below. I can make a Seismic Surge and Hammer, and then Arsenal the Crippling Crush. Two and 6. If they're playing Route, if they have, well, they can't Razor me here, so not really worried about it that much. I'm not gonna sink here. Don't really see anything. Probably best to block an Arsenal Crippling Crush. Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking too. Is that I get to hammer for 6 here still. And I get to keep my life lead. And I get to just have a massive attack that I can come in with here. I didn't know the text box was so big. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still trying to fix the text box so it's not completely in the way of everything. All right, 250 is good, and the height needs to be... All right, perfect. Yeah, okay, perfect. They undid here, okay. So they're just gonna take 6 here. So this hand is just like insane, honestly. Like the sigil is just so good here because it's just 3 extra life. Like I wish I had an equipment piece to just throw back at something here. So he discards Winds of Eternity and gets Rising Knee Thrust. So he Kadachis me. I mean, I need to be able to keep... So I have to give him a mask here if I want to do this. Like, the sigil's cool, but, like, man, it's... Like, I'd rather just have it as a card to block with. Yeah, the fact that they still have mask sucks a little bit. So I go to 10 and give them an extra card here. You know what? Because this is the scariest thing that can happen to me. Because I can just gain life from here. This is probably wrong and one of the greedier things I've done in quite some time here, but I don't think they can kill me. And I'm pretty sure 11 damage that they have to cover 9 of is just going to win the game if I get to keep my 2 blues here. Yeah, see, the rest of the stuff they're doing here is just vanilla damage. Like, this is 4 go again. Like, I'm just going to go to 12 and then go to 8 here. This just, like, doesn't scare me. If Crane Dance was the last tack on the combat chain, was it? Was Crane Dance the last thing? No, so this is just a 0 for 2. I'm just going to play this. I'm going to put this on the bottom. I don't really see a reason to keep Vestiges in my hand. I mean... Like, I went down to 3 to give them a mask here, but they have to throw... They probably have to throw mask, maybe Tunic also. Let's see. I mean, they can just throw 3 cards from their hand and keep 2 things and put on enough pressure to try and threaten mask here. Hope you draw well after. Yeah, I mean... Dude, I definitely need to draw something... a little decent after this to keep the pressure on here, because keeping the pressure on is really what is gonna help us win this game. Like, no, it was last game against Fi, the way. Yeah, so all right, so they gave us mask and tunic. What I was gonna say is this game started in a way that was favorable for us because we were able to go second and keep the tempo, but that was against Fi last game. If they have a sink below here, this is pretty bad. Or some kind of defense reaction, which it feels like they do. Well, I guess we'll go to 1. So if this hits, it gets go again. So I can block 6, and then I can make a surge and then hammer for 6. Or I can block 6, make a surge, and command and conquer for 6. Yeah, I kind of like playing it this way. CNC next turn? Yeah, it was ultimately the decision I came to also. make a surge and CNC. Now, unfortunately, my last point of life that I had to play with went away there with the Kadachi, so it is a little tough. Wow. That is honestly what we needed there. I don't think there's anything like even empowerment doesn't really do anything for them. Why did they not Kadachi me? I feel like they just made a big mistake there. So we're gonna hammer for 6 here after making a surge, and then if they block anything less than 10, they're dead. Oh, you win? I mean, let's hope so. I'm hoping they don't have another defense reaction. They've had a card sitting here for a long time. Oh, wow. All right, cool. I honestly did not think we were going to get there. How many sigils were left in the deck? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I think we played 2. We played 1 on turn 1. Yeah, there's 1 more left in the deck. Man, sigil would have been insane, though. Like, if they'd have just... Okay, so game 2, played against Katsu, was able to put on some good pressure early and really get out ahead, I felt like. You know, he's up 12 to 13 points there to kind of start the game a little bit. And then late in the game, they had a big turn where they were able to put us in, I think it was like tied 3 to 3 after that happened, so it was making it a little bit closer. But I had a crippling crush to come back with, and when it's 3 to 3 and you're at 11, or like, I mean, when I'm attacking for 11 and it's 3 to 3, like, there's not much you can do. Like, crippling crush, like, I'm pretty sure I played 2 or 3 of them that game, and every crippling crush was insane because we either got the effect or we got a ton of cards out of our opponent's hand. So just some really good early game pressure followed by a massive attack at the end of the game really put us in the driver's seat. Wizard. And it sideboards us really well. Huh. I like it. Yeah, we're definitely gonna go first against the Wizard deck. So I'm just gonna pass and heave a Pulverize, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the play here. We're using Tunic, so yeah. Wow. All right. Good start for our opponent here. They get to put an E-Pod into play. Feels not too shabby. I'm not even looking at fantasy football right now, but I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hope that Nick Folk is going ham. Opt 2, if you played another Wizard card, put it back into your hand. So, another Gaze the Ages. Wow, alright. Joke's on us. Our opponent's going to kill us on their first turn of the game. Well... I guess we will prevent 3. I'd like to come in with a Pulverize here, but I don't really know that I can. Now they get to get a Blazing... It's not Blazing Ether, it's the Ether Flare? I can tell you what the card does, but I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I don't play against Kano very often. Kano is not like super popular in my local metagame, and so it's not something I play against a ton, honestly. Ugh. Of course, Chicago kicks a field goal. Oh, wow. Cal McCreath just liked one of my tweets. That's pretty cool. It's not something I get to say every day, I won't lie, so pretty excited about that. Now, oh my gosh, I did not think about that. That just sucks because I can't play this now. That's so bad for me. I definitely should have just taken that. Wow, this is really bad. Wow. Okay, well, let me tell you, we had a punt city right there. That's not good. If there was ever a time to add one to the punt counter, it's now. Ugh. Alright, so they block 2. Take 6. I mean, I'm just going to take 4 here. We go to 34 because I want to come in with that pulverize. We actually drew all blues to get out of it, so we might be able to make something happen here. Today's punt count is 2. Sonic Boom. So I'm going to activate Tunic here. And I'm going to hold on to the Terra Sunder here because Terra Sunder like gives me an option of something I can do at least. Plus, if they reveal a bunch of cards, put all cards from your pitch zone. Whew. So I'd rather pitch this to prevent that. Oh, they just put Potion of Deja Vu into play? Yeah, that was a... Put all cards from your pitch zone on top of your deck in any order. So Kano just went back to like hard combo Kano. Which, I mean, makes sense if you think about it. They take 13, or they take 11, go to 13. Look at the top 5 cards of their deck. Banish one or more cards with the same number from among them, then put the rest on top in any order. So we're basically just playing Righteous Cleansing here and coming in and holding up 2. Which is like, you know, nothing to write home about, but it's also not bad. Because if they want to stop the crush effect here, they have to block quite a bit. They're going to 10 here. Like, we have our opponent where, like, they're at, like, the kind of the turns where they have to decide what they want to do. Is it that they want to... Like, does our opponent want to try and kill us? Or do they want to just... Do they want to try and kill us, or are they just blocking? Like, they kind of get to decide what they want to do here. So this is actually pretty good. So I feel like it's definitely better to come in with Command and Conquer here. And then hold up Cranial Crush because we have 4 resources to prevent AB here. And the line that I was going to go for was going to take all of the... was going to take all of it out of my hand. Was going to leave me with 0 resources, which means if they had combo, they had combo. And that's just all there is to it. Arsenal this. If it's a wizard non-attack action, you may banish it. If you do, you may play it this turn as though it were an instant. If it costs X resources to play. Okay, so we need to prevent a blue, or we need to prevent a blue law. We need to pitch a blue here to stop 3 of the 4. So if they find something that costs 1 or 0, they may play it as though it were an instant this turn. Huh. I'm wondering if I should have Arsenal this. So we get to come in for 6 and have 2 floating this way, and I have Sigil here. So this puts us back to 36. Dude, the Sigils are so good against Wizard. Like, so good against Wizard. Are they activating Energy Potion or playing Energy Potion? They're playing Energy Potion. Kind of what Knight was talking about earlier. This feels like a like IKEA Command and Conquer, like build your own Command and Conquer kind of thing. Rut-row Reggie. Activate Storm Striders. Alright, so they're probably about to play like an Ether Flare or something here. Okay, activate Crucible while pitching a blue. Oh, this is scary. I might be dead. Yeah, because they're going to draw 2 here off the tome. So they're going to draw 2, and then they're going to let this one resolve, and it's going to be a Gaze the Ages. Sheesh. Sheesh, this is so bad. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I feel like that meme when he's just like, haha, I'm in danger. It's exactly what this feels like right now. Kano popping off, dude. Yeah, real talk. Just make you want to play Kano Billy? I know you love this kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean... I was like, they can do a whole bunch of stuff here. Oh my gosh. And they have an eye? Well, I'm just going to cry myself to sleep tonight. Lol, you know me all too well. uh, take 8. My man has pitched 6 cards this turn and used 2 E-Pots. I am so dead. At least it feels like I am so irrationally dead. Whee! I mean, less than lobby for like what? Yeah, it was like 7. It's like something absurd. And then you get to go get a Blazing Ether? Oh, no. What is this? 28. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a... Okay, so round 3, we draw Kano. Now, this is one that when I'm looking at it, I feel like should be good for us. But, I don't know. I've played Bravo into Kano twice, and I've lost both times. It's definitely a playstyle issue because there's enough blues in the deck to, like, just functionally never run out of resources and then never be caught in awkward spots if you play right. So I think it's honestly just me playing poorly and just not making the right decisions. Ended up losing this game because they KO'd me. Again, I don't think that's because this is a bad matchup. I think that's because of my poor play. So if I was really worried about this matchup, for Worlds or any other tournament, I'd just sit down and jam Bravo against somebody who's good with Kano until I figured out how to play it right. All right. Well, I'm going to pick to go second. We like to have the tempo in this matchup. Going second gives us a really good opportunity to have the tempo, so... Oh, this is also a Mask of the Pouncing Lynx deck. Yep. We'll take 0. Lord. Well, this wasn't exactly the opening hand I wanted to see here, but I mean, I do get to put 10 points of pressure on my opponent here. Like, I am going to play the Pummel. They're playing E-Strike and they're playing Emberblade. Interesting. Most of the people that are playing like the E-Strike version of Fi are playing Kodachis. So our opponent takes 1. We get to Arsenal of Fate Foreseen. Yeah, we'll take 3 here. There's no way they'll pop Mass this early. See, if they do, I'd be baffled. So I get to make one of these. Activate Bravo. And hold 2 up. So, I mean, if having the Pummel here would be insane. Okay. Let's just go ahead and play the Fate Foreseen here. Actually, is it better to just take 7, go to 30, and then have Rouse the Ancients? Yeah, we get to have Rouse the Ancients and Command and Conquer Seismic Surge afterwards. Like, and I get to keep the Fate Foreseen. I would rather do it on the turn when I feel like they're going to try and pop off, and they're not going to right here. I mean, they can't. Spinal Crush just prevents it. So, let's see here. I need to keep the Disable. So we're going to play this, pitch this. We reveal 13 this way, because if not, we can't. Our opponent goes to 26. Now, depending on what our opponent's arsenal card is here, I was like, we'll get at least, like, I was like, we'll probably get some cards out of their hand. So this costs 4. So pitch this, activate Bravo, pitch this to come in for 7, dominate. I think that's worth blocking this when I have a Fate Foreseen at the ready. We're kind of using a we're dominating. Definitely gonna do that. Oh, we're gonna put that on the bottom. So we're just basically able to dominate a Command and Conquer here. I mean, not literally, but kind of. So 7 dominate. I mean, if they have a defense reaction here, like this isn't a blowout. Huh. All right. So we know this doesn't have go again, so I'm just going to play the Sink Pillow here. I'm not going to sink anything, but I am going to save the damage. So this is, again, really good because I'm able to just pitch a blue, make a Surge, Command and Conquer, and then we get to Arsenal the Crippling Crush. Again, we're forcing cards out of our opponent's hand and just making our hand so much better. I mean, yeah, I'll take 3 here and go to 24. Like, it's fine. And if they're going to... I mean, they would have had to snap already if they were going to. So we're just going to come in with the Crippling Crush. Like, the funny part is, like, I don't need to dominate here to be in a good spot because they either take damage and take the effect. Sigil of Solace. Let's go back to 27. This version of Bravo is just so good. Now, the all red hand here is not great. We're going to sink below the pummel here. Actually, yeah, no, I'm going to sink below the pummel here. I was like, cause, I mean, we get to make a Surge, and then we get to hammer for 6. And we get to have the Fate Foreseen as backup. Now, hopefully we draw, I mean, hopefully we draw 3 blues so we can dominate it, but hopefully we draw 2 blues, at least. So drawing 2 blues is pretty good. Kind of just going to throw the Command and Conquer to save life here. I don't think it's necessary, but this is just like, this has felt like a beating, like an absolute thrashing. Now, if I lose, I look like an idiot for saying that, but this has felt really good. Like, I don't even care about blocking this. Just take 3. So I didn't have a Seismic Surge, but I get to dominate, make... Yeah, this is crazy. Now I get to dominate a Spinal Crush. Okay, so they take 3, so there's no crush effect, and they get to keep their hand, which can be scary, depending on what our hand looks like. Now, our hand looks fine. I'm kind of tempted to just... try to dominate Macho Grande here. We're just going to go to the Fate for Scene. Cover up all 7. I'm going to put this on top. I like having this on top because it gives us the option of hammering them out of nowhere and kind of giving them a small stroke. I mean, let's make the discipline play. Like, let's make the discipline play here. Let's not let them have an arsenal. Let's come in for a dominate here. Like, this does not have an on-hit effect, but man, we are pushing damage here really well. So this is a good block with Imposing Visage hand. Yeah, like we're gonna block with Imposing Visage here, and yeah, I'm gonna go to 16. I'm up 20-1. Like, I have so much life to play with here. Like, I don't... Like, even if they break Mask here, what are they gonna get? Like, they get a Lava Burst, a Snatch. I was like, it's 5 more? Oh, I'm sorry, they have Phoenix Flame too. Don't know why Phoenix Flame is for 2. Did I miss something? I missed something somewhere. But I mean, I'm still going to 8 here because it doesn't matter. Like, and then we get to pitch this. Hammer for 6 with a pummel. Like, they couldn't, it sounds like they couldn't block it either way. Maybe they have a sink below. Okay, so for our last match, we draw Phi again. I'm playing against another Phi who's not playing Mask of Momentum, and they're playing Mask of the Pouncing Lynx. I think that's really interesting against Bravo. I'm not really sure what their thought process is there. But this was a shellacking. It wasn't even close. Like, it felt like I was in control the entire game, and I was always in the driver's seat. Crippling Crush hit for like a full amount. Oh, excuse me. I mean, like it honestly, I just. Like that game was a clinic as far as the Control Bravo deck felt that game, but overall, you know, the deck was a lot of fun, and I think that, you know, Ed Knight, and, you know, he said that Kel McCreath worked on this with him, but I feel like the Ed Knight Kel McCreath Control Bravo deck is really good, and I really enjoy it, honestly. It's something that I would consider playing at a big event if I had all the cards. You know, getting enough reps in, because it is a solid deck. Has a very solid foundation. Sigil of Solace is insane. Like, it is crazy to me how good Sigil of Solace is in this deck. So, yeah, I mean, overall strong deck, and I really liked it. I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching the video. If there's any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. And if not, I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys.